Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you all doing good. We're still optimistic, right, about the year ahead. So I thought let's speak about trying to cheat the system, right? This was triggered by my visit some time back. Some time back, I attended a family fun day. So fun day at my little one's school. So in attending this fun day, obviously you get to sit with other parents. I might not have known them, but I just got to sit next to them, right, and just observe a few things. And I noticed that the kids, obviously, you know how kids are. They will play around, they will walk around, they will run around, come back to the parents, go away and play. I noticed that whole thing, right? But then I think you can see I'm wearing a smartwatch, right? So then I noticed, I think it was one or two of the kids that were in a group. So they had on a smartwatch, and all the parents kept saying is, or the children themselves would check like how many steps they've done, right? And then fine, that kept going on. They would go away, play, come back to the parents. And then at some point in this whole interaction, the one of the parents says, "Oh, okay, please give me back my watch." And I was like, like I was side eyeing them because, like, is this watch not supposed to be on your own wrist and you're supposed to take the steps and count the steps towards your day or whatever, you know? So I was like, wow, so this is how people cheat the system. And sometimes you see that people have certain gadgets, whether it's watches, whether it's apps on their phones, and perhaps they don't see a difference in maybe the whatever goals they might have. They might not see a difference because they are trying to cheat the system, right? And then I also thought of a time that I myself tried to cheat the system. And guess what? Trying to cheat the system doesn't work. It doesn't work for you. It may work for a little while, but it doesn't work for you. Because imagine, for example, we go back to the example of the smartwatch, right? Fine, your app says you have walked 10,000 steps for your day, but have you really moved your body? Have you contributed to a healthy heart? You haven't done all of that. And maybe years down the line, I don't know, God forbid, but health issues come about. And what your app says and how you are feeling just doesn't add up because according to the app, you were moving, your heart is healthy. So what's going on? So anyway, back to my story. I thought of a time where I I tried to cheat the system, and guess what? It did not work out. For a little bit it did. So I'm not sure how everyone on this platform or those who are listening, how you perhaps know in terms of your credit score and how it works when you maybe get a loan or whatever, right? So I was at a place where financially things were not so good, but also I think I have myself to blame. Like again, I say trying to cheat the system. So what happens is, right, you can actually get loans, right? But please don't do this. Like, please don't take this as advice because, like I said, it doesn't work for you. Don't take this as advice. Don't try it. uh like don't do it. It will end in tears, basically, right? So what happened to me at some point, which is why I'm at a place where it had to get to debt review, out of debt review, and so forth. So please don't do it. It's not good. So what happens is with personal loans, right? Or I think with any financial credit facility that is around there, right? So I'm gonna speak of personal loans because this is how I tried to cheat the system and it didn't work for me. So with personal loans, what happens is you can I actually went to one bank and took personal loan after personal loan after personal loan until I was over indebted. How you do this is, or how I did this, trying to cheat the system, and it didn't, like, it ended in tears. Like I said, I've been in debt review and I wouldn't want anyone to go through that. So I went to the same bank, right? I went the one day. So I kind of built a relationship with the person who was helping me, just to explain, oh, this is what's happening, this is what I'm going through, this is why I need the money. And maybe the poor lady felt pity for me. That's why, she was so understanding when I came back again and again and again. So I go to the one bank. We do the whole checking of pay slips and whatever, and I qualify the first time. Qualify for a loan. Honestly, please, I don't remember numbers, right? But all I know is after the time that I took all these loans, I was over indebted, and I still tried to cheat the system by going somewhere else. So yeah, that's just it. So I went in the one day, obviously built a relationship, we spoke, and it seemed at that bank there was, at the time, so I'd always go during lunch, obviously, because I'm at work, and then during lunchtime, and I think every time I went during lunchtime, it was the same person helping personal loans. So which meant I ended up landing at the same person all the time. So which means it's someone who knew my story, and it was easy. But I still provided all the documents that were needed in terms of my pay slip and everything. I had to give in all of that. So I went the one day, took out a loan, was able to explain my story. I think just making conversation, because honestly, you don't have to explain why you're taking a personal loan. They don't have to know all of that. But I guess it was that relationship building kind of process. I took out a loan, I gave all my documents, it was approved. And obviously, with personal loans, quick, the money is in your account. That happens. And then what happens is your credit score, or your facilities, or everything, because obviously your credit score shows every credit facility that you have. It doesn't update immediately. So I think, I'm not sure if it's a full month or 3 months or what. That I'm not sure of. But all I know of is, with me, I think it was in the same month that I took all these loans, if not in 2 months. I just don't remember, so recall so well. Took out a loan, went away thinking, this is enough. Did what I need to do with the money. I needed it all. Like, literally, I needed all that money. So there was nothing to spare. It was not like, no, just take a little bit, use what you need, leave it to park. I needed the whole amount. Did what I needed to do, and then I realized, no man, this is not enough. I need more. Right? Cool. Again, lunchtime comes, go back again to the same bank. I need more. Because obviously I've built rapport with this person. I've told them, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. This money, they understand. We've got an understanding. So go again, get more money. It hasn't registered on their side. It hasn't registered on my credit record that I have a personal loan that I have to pay, and it can't yet figure out if I'm over indebted. It still picks up as someone who can afford to get a loan. I do it again, get more money, and then I go. This is me cheating the system, by the way. It worked, but it ended in tears. Like I said, go again, do the same thing, get the loan, and because it didn't pick up, do what I need to do again. I needed the whole amount. There was no take a little bit, leave a little bit, let it park. There was none of that. Needed the full amount. Again, do what I need to do, and then along the way I realized, no man, I need more. I need more. I think I went back 3 times, if not twice, right? I need more. All right, go back again. It hasn't registered my credit yet. So I went back, get the money. and then get more money, use it all again. I needed everything. Okay, fine. That goes away. And then I think down the line, I'm not sure if it was a few months down the line or what, right? But I know it was, I think it was after the December period, if not January or February of whichever year I went to another bank now. So at the time, I was working at a company where December period you might get a bonus. So I think I had a little on my pay slip. There was like an additional amount, other than the amount that I usually get on a month to month basis, which meant when they looked at the final pay slip, affordability wise, I could afford. So I get another loan. Didn't get too much. I think I needed it for a small thing. I get a small amount, and then I go about my way. Again, me cheating the system. But guess what? It did not work. Right? So eventually, obviously, everything picks up. It's just that honestly, I need to research on this. I'm not too sure how quick it shows, but within the space that I took the different loans, right? I still was at a place where I could afford these loans. And I was way over indebted by the time I had taken all these loans. And you know what? It, like I said, it worked for a bit. It helped me cover what I needed to cover. But I was over indebted. And I found myself at a place where many of the other obligations were not easy to cover, or else I was in so much of a negative, because I like trying to cheat the system doesn't work. So yes, the system doesn't pick up quickly, but even yourself, man, you know that, man, I've taken too much. I'm over indebted. You've probably calculated in your head that, listen, if I take this additional loan, I don't think I'll be able to cover it. But you're like, no, 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 the system hasn't picked up. Let me take more. So cheating the system doesn't work. Like we saw in the example, that triggered me to remember the story of someone using their smartwatch for a child, whereas in the long run does it work for you, because in the long run that means you're not putting your adequate steps in, you haven't put in the work for your health. So in a personal finance perspective, me trying to get many loans in a short space of time where I knew that it's not picking up on the system meant that at the end of the day, I'm over indebted, right? So hence I'm saying I would not advise anyone to do this, because if you've been on this channel before, you know that I'm a person who's gone through debt review before, because I was so over indebted. There were so many obligations that at some point I couldn't cover all of them. And I had to take that step of saying, okay, get into debt review so you can pay an amount that you can afford. And I mean, it's not the best of things. Like I said, it ended in tears because I tried to cheat the system. So I think I just want to encourage you to say, don't, like, cheating the system will show up. Basically, it will show up. So with the workout situation, it will show up in your heart health. It will show up in your overall health, in your physique, for example. It will show up if you're trying to cheat the system and giving someone else to run around with your watch, and you be the one who's collecting points for your steps. In my case, right, it showed up in me being over indebted. It showed up at some point because I couldn't cover everything. So from a personal finance perspective, where as much as possible, or always, do not try to cheat the system, because the system will come back to bite you. I think there's so many advisors going around out there. I am not an advisor of any sort. I'm just sharing my stories. So there are so many things going around, but all in all, do not try to cheat the system, because the system, like, it will show up in the fact that you'll be over indebted. You will not be able to cover all your debts. You probably, what's the word? Like for example, maybe my example is extreme, right? If you do not budget, for example, if you are trying to cheat the system by saying, no, 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 I don't need to budget, I've got it all in my head. um this, like, it's easy, I've got it all in my head. Guess what? You probably will find yourself in a place where every month you're living above your means because you haven't put it down on paper, you haven't checked in with how you're doing financially, you haven't checked in how you've made use of whatever money that came into your account at, at any point in time in the month, you know. So it will show up because guess what? You'll be living above your means. You will not know where your money went, right? In my case, at some points, I did not know what I needed to cover, what I needed not to cover. You end up sacrificing one debt for another. Like, it just doesn't work. So try your level best to not think of cheating the system. More than anything, do not cheat the system because it will end in tears. And like I said, I would not wish debt review on anyone. It is not the best. If you can find one of the videos where I share the experience that I've had in debt review, and actually what happens when you're on debt review, where your credit score is sitting on zero. Imagine zero. So please, don't try to cheat the system. Try your level best to keep up to date with your finances because at the end of the day, we still want to get to a place where we are debt free. We still want to get to a place where we are getting to that healthy net worth, a net worth that is sitting in the positive other than the negative, right? So, more than anything, do not cheat the system. It doesn't end well. If you are, this is not personal finance related, but if you are one of those people who are using your smartwatch, giving your smartwatch to your kids who you know run around, please don't. Like, it's cringeworthy and like, man. Anyway, back to personal finance. Please, please, please try not to cheat the system. It will not work well for you. You don't want to end up in debt review. It's not the best place to be. You don't want to end up in a place where you cannot cover month to month. You don't want to end up in a place where you are living from hand to mouth. As much as possible, if you can get to a place where you are able to cover unexpected expenses, not expenses that are crazy like my plug that decided to have a surge or anything like that. Nothing like that. Like, there's some things that come up in the month that you need to cover. And if you can do that comfortably at least, and at some point get to a place where every month you have something left over, that would be the best place to be. So please do not try to cheat the system. It doesn't work. And yeah, man, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you can share it with someone else who you feel like maybe they are trying to cheat the system, or maybe someone who can learn from this if they are at a place where financially they're not able to cover stuff. Just that learning of the system cannot be cheated, because at the end of the day, your credit score will update. And once it updates, you are over indebted. And yes, we can try and blame the bank for, in my case, for continuously lending me money, but they were following their, in terms of them, they actually followed protocol, because they still took the payslip, they still checked affordability, and affordability was fine because the credit score had not updated. So in their terms, they followed protocol, but in my terms, I did not care for the fact that I could not afford any further loans, because I was like, no, I need the money, I need the money, and cheated the system. But guess what? The system cheated me at the end, because at the end of the day, debt review was a reality for me. So yeah, let me not drag it any further. I hope it was helpful. Please do share. Please do like and subscribe. We do want to grow. So please do so. But more than anything, do not, I repeat, do not cheat the system, because it will end in tears. And the system does not play nice with those who try to cheat it. So yeah, man, let's continue to get to a healthy net worth, and I hope you are on a great track to get to a healthy net worth. So until the next one, bye.